So,
Alt 2. So, welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. This is a support, especially for solopreneurs. And this morning, we're going to be looking at Google's new tool called Keen. So, this morning, it seems like there's only three of us here. So, I think maybe what we'll do is just introduce ourselves this morning. So, David, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Dave Flannery with Affordable Websites for Small Business. Um, I've built sites for small businesses to increase their web presence. Right now, we are streaming live on both YouTube and on the website. You can comment in YouTube.
Right on. And I'm trying to move the screen away from my picture. And do you think I can get it to do it? No. All right, let's just go to gallery view here, and there it is. So now I need to unpin video. There, that's what I needed to do. Sorry for that, David. So, Vivek, you want to introduce yourself?
Namaste. My name is Vivekanand. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said, "Simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication." I aim to bring time tested wisdom and happiness together into your business and life by unifying, simplifying, and amplifying simple technology and tools. Wake Technology is my company. Together, let us wake up our potential. So that's my
I like
introduction.
I like that. Wake up our potential. Perfect. It's cool. So I will introduce what I do. I'm Lowland, Coach Lowland, and I love helping retirees who would like to start an online business. I'd like to call myself the elder geek. So this morning is going to be a bit of an experiment for us because I created a video, which I might warn everybody if anybody's watching outside that it is full of ums and ahs. I was kind of short on time, and so I didn't have time to do
Iron out the ums and ahs.
pardon. No, I didn't. I wasn't.
Iron out.
I didn't have. I didn't have time to do any editing or whatever. So
Ironing out the ums and ahs. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we could do a drinking game.
So I was going to hope that you could share your screen and we would share that video first and then have a discussion about it. So let's see if that can happen. And somebody is coming in, but I haven't figured out who it is yet.
While you're bringing them in, we have Javita saying hello. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning, Javita. I see you out there in YouTube land. And good morning, Paul. While Vivek is trying to share screen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Paul, I think he didn't hear you.
No. Oh, there.
Sorry, did you ask me to introduce myself?
Yes.
Oh, well, good morning, neighbor
Good
on a
morning,
sunny
neighbor.
day. My name is Paul. My company is TTG International Management, and we like to take people's ideas and help them turn them into profitable action. And I'm always happy to be with this fine group of people and a coffee at this time of day.
Yes. But I'm ahead of you. I walked Dallas Road this morning at 6:30. So So Vivek, are you having any luck?
Yeah, let me try. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
We're seeing a black screen so far. Well, this is going to be a very short video just to show you what Keen looks like. So I'm going to share my screen. So we are only seeing
just
a black
walk you
screen,
through a
Vivek.
little bit.
Oh my word. That was interesting.
We lost Luann, it looks like.
As I was learning how to use this. So this one here was the first one that I did.
We're still
And
not
you can
seeing
see
your
that
screen.
I have one.
Back.
are you still not seeing my screen?
No.
No, we are not.
Oh.
And wasn't that interesting? When we were trying to do something, my Zoom closed down, and it looked like Paul's did for a second there too. So there's something something unstable happening here. Guys, you never know. There's Alana coming in.
Well, this is going to be a
There.
very short video just to show you what Keen looks like. So I'm going to share my screen and just walk you through a little bit. Hope you can see this. And I will tell you, notice that staykeen.com is where you would go. And these are the two keens that I have set up as I was learning how to use this. So this one here was the first one that I did. And you can see that I have one follower already. Thank heaven for my friends. So what I did was this was for business, and so I posted a couple of things out of my own website. So I just very quickly, if I click on that, you can see it goes directly to my website where I'm promoting and inviting people to join the course. So I just wanted you to see that when you post a Keen, you can link it right directly to your actually your website, or a YouTube, or I think even maybe audio podcasts and so forth. But you can also see that you can link up and add some other things that are of value. So that gives you a sense that what you're posting there is mixed in with the things that Google suggests that you might enjoy. So that's one item that I wanted to show you. The other item over here is I have some other items in here, but this one's called Masterminds and Success Circles. And all three of these are links to things on my website. So I wanted you to be able to see that. You can share by inviting somebody, or share this using email and or WhatsApp. So that seemed to work reasonably well. You can copy the link and share it with anybody you want to. So let me see. Am I forgetting to show you anything that I wanted you to see? I'll be telling you a few things, details about this after this video. So I want to stop screen sharing this one now, and I want to show you that you can also I want you to be able to see that what it looks like on your website or on your phone. So you can see that it looks quite nice on the phone, and the same thing happens when you open a Keen, and it allows me to open things on my website. So I think that's really all I want to do. I'll stop screen sharing now and just I'll tell you more details. This is a very quick and dirty video, as you can tell. Okay, I'm going to stop recording now.
Okay, so, I see that you're here, Alana.
I wondered how did you see it? I mean, was it clear enough? Or?
Yeah, it came through on my screen just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On my
right.
screen, it was really fuzzy.
Oh, was it?
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
Mine as
It
well.
was less than 480
really?
p or whatever. The
Yeah.
that that's not. It wasn't even 720.
So there you go. I mean, this is what we all of us are all about, experimentation. So some experiments work out better than others. So now
You want me to share the screen and show the Keen thing again?
you mean the
Just the Keen screen.
the screen? Yeah, that could be okay too if you wanted to do that. So, but there's a few things that I wanted to share, and I have made some notes here to make sure that I mention everything that I wanted to. So, as mentioned in the video, staykeen.com is where you go. And you must have a Google account in order to be able to go in. And it's either Gmail account or G Suite account. Apparently, it's either one, as far as I can tell. So when you go in and sign up for the first time, it will ask you what to mention something that's of particular interest to you. So that's how I started that particular one on online business. So then what happens is that Google recommends a whole bunch of keywords for you to make use of. It gives you a whole list of keywords, and then you can select the ones that you think are appropriate, and then you set this up. And from from the searches there, you can see that down below suggested. You see all those keywords. You can put those in. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I think this might be worthy of following and learning more about. So a few things in terms of the background. Um, this is listed online. This Keen is an experiment. It's new and it's an experiment by Google. So we don't know whether it's going to take off or how it's going to work, or if people are going to be skeptical about Google again, or, we don't know any of those things. But my thinking is that if we're using keywords that are recommended by Google in here, so that it can suggest some things to you as the user, then your stuff gets folded in, and it's likely that you're going to get some profile. So that's kind of the reason I think this is worth looking at. So what else do I want to tell you? Oh, to set up a Keen, Vivek, if you go back to the Keen up on the left-hand corner, you can see that there you put in a picture, and you can see that it needs to be square, and it's about the same size as the pictures that I was using over on Pinterest. So
What you're now seeing is actually my Keen page, so it is slightly different from
from
what
mine,
Loveland's is.
yeah,
But the problem, Loveland cannot do the screen share while she's um, hosting because of the
OBS,
OBS and all those complications. So
yeah. Well, but that's okay. I mean, we're seeing Vivek's Keen, so you can see that he's following me, and he has chosen to save one of my Keens. So he's got two Keens in there that he has saved, but down below it also shows who he's following. Okay. So it appears that there's kind of two types of people, followers and collaborators. And we were trying to figure out, you can see under there it said one follower. So we're not entirely sure of the major difference yet between a follower and a collaborator. That is, we're still trying to figure it out. Now, the other thing that I discovered about ways to make it really easy to save what you want. So one of the things, if you scroll way down at the very bottom of Keen, yeah, okay. Do you see on the right-hand side where it says apps? There's Android and or bookmarklet. So I clicked on that bookmarklet, and what it did was it gave me something to put up in my bookmarks. So when you have that up on your bookmarks and you go to a page or a post of any kind that you want to share, you just click it, and then it'll ask you which of your posts, which of your Keens you want to save it to. So I thought that was just amazing. It was just that easy. So I went to my own website, clicked on the bookmarklet, and told Keen to save it to the Keen that I wanted it in. Done. So and of course it doesn't, you can share, it doesn't have to be your own. I mean, you could be online seeing something, you think, oh, that would be really neat to share over on Keen. So you could do that as well. So let me see, what else do I want to oh, um the and from what I could tell, it works similarly whether you're on a desktop or whether you're on your phone. So I didn't really see a whole lot of difference there. Okay. Now the other thing that I did was I did do a bit of research, and I found two really good videos, YouTube videos, which I have posted in the chat here in Zoom, and I think David is going to put into the YouTube comments for anybody out there. There are two videos there. One by Erickson, David Erickson, I think his name is. And one by a chap in the UK, and they walk you through all some of the things that we've talked about, and some of the things that we, yeah, some of the things that I've shown you. So there's a couple of quite good videos that you can watch where somebody's gone through and really done a yeah, School of Nomads was one of them, and the other one was David Erickson, I think it was. So so I guess that's about all I had in terms of notes. But I wondered whether any of you have heard of it, whether any of you have actually gone in and looked at it, or what your thoughts might be about this. Any comments?
I think the main thing I would say is, I mean, it says an experimental product from Area 120 and PAIR at Google. PAIR is, I think, personalized AI, and I'm not sure what R stands for, but the PAIR is a likely product which will come out of Google. So, and it is to do with the AI.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
the usual Google lady.
Yes,
So,
don't.
I think this is going to be personalized. So, so this combines the PAIR and something else. So, yeah, it is a bit way out in the future, but
Well, and I guess what made me, as I looked at this and did some research, I saw a few people who went on to say, "Oh, this is Google's answer to Pinterest," and it certainly does. It does have some similarities, but I noticed. I mean, this whole thing about keyword, the suggestions to keywords and all of that. It struck me that it's taking it out into an even, a greater connection, I guess. So David, you have your hand up.
Yeah, it sounds like it's something that we can use for a little while, at least to get ourselves ranked a little bit better, until they say, everybody's doing it, and then it's causing all sorts of problems. And so until everybody gets into Keen, I mean, it sounds like we could, really benefit from it.
Sorry, PAIR stands for People plus AI Research.
Ah, okay. Okay, Alana, I see you had your hand up too.
Yeah, I'm sorry I came in a little late, but I'm wondering, is this a replacement for the Google Plus? Do you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
It's a social media thing, right? It's a social media thing, and it really makes me curious that they're giving you suggested keyword phrases as well. So I'd be curious to run those phrases through a keyword tool.
Yeah.
And see how competitive they are.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that came to my mind was what they're giving you. Are they trying to steer you to use these words, or I don't know. Interesting.
Well, and then what came to my mind when I saw these keywords was Jay's recommendation. So, and this is quite a long time ago when Google Plus disappeared and we stopped posting things in there. I mean, we posted things in Google Plus to get that Google juice, as he calls it. So then he started posting into the discussion area on YouTube, realizing that you were getting additional Google juice by having done that. So the fact that all these keywords that are being recommended, that's what came to my mind immediately.
And it just occurs to me that the standard expression is not to chase after shiny objects. Mm-hmm. And now I can't help but wonder if Google is the one driving that train, because they're creating the shiny objects.
Yeah, maybe.
It's one more thing for us to jump on. It's one to get that ranking. Yeah.
Well, one of the videos that I watched, he said, if we don't know if this is going to take off or how popular it's going to be, but if your experience has shown that early adopters of new things like this quite often gain all the benefits. And so he suggested that it might not be a bad idea to be an early adopter. And both of the two videos that I watched, they were going to continue on to watch to see what happens within Google search, what comes up, whether you get whether that improves your ranking, within actual Google search. So I mean the for those two reviewers that really went in and looked at it in a very detailed way, it seemed to be something to watch, but too early to tell. And so, I mean, David and I were chatting before everybody came on this morning about, what happened with Google Plus. What was it that made everybody suddenly get really discouraged about Google Plus? And my recollection about that is that they in the early days of Google Plus, we had Hangouts on Air that would allow you to do all kinds of things that we are now able to do in Zoom. But at that time, and then they decided, they took away all those pieces of being able to record and send it over to YouTube and a whole lot of things. They made a whole lot of changes and took away the capabilities that we all loved in Google Hangouts on Air. That's when people started to vacate Google Plus. So I mean, we've all been down this road before. So I mean, there's a certain skepticism there, isn't there?
I think the other thing probably was people started comparing Google Plus to Facebook,
Mhm.
and um, I mean, people who loved Facebook came to Google Plus, and they started complaining, we hate this,
Mhm.
and so and they were the loudest voices for whatever reason.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
because of that, I would say, because of these loudest voices, maybe Google then decided, okay, if people don't want it, there are too many loud voices
Yeah.
complaining, why should we bother?
Well,
Okay,
and
let's
I
get rid
I
of it.
think simultaneously that was around that time was when Google was going toward G Suite as well. So they
uh
started thinking about the corporate, you know,
no,
thing.
G Suite was has been there since a long time, but
Yeah, but it
G
was different then.
no, G Suite has, I don't think it has anything to do with Google Plus, um, or anything. I mean, those two are entirely different products, and they're not really related in any way. So they come from Google, that's all. But
Yeah. But so I mean, Vivek and I were working on another project, and this week we started thinking. We started going back to when we were trying to figure out when did we meet and how did we meet and what were we doing when we met. And we started remembering all those people that we connected with in Google Hangouts on Air,
Mm.
and how some of us are still connected after what was it, 2004, I think, that Ronnie Binzer was giving those courses in Hangouts on Air. So a lot of the people that I know and am connected to online, I got connected with way back then. So yeah. So I know we're all a bit worried. Now I know that I have a number of friends who have decided to withdraw from Facebook because they're really concerned about the advertising and all the things that are going on there. I have one friend who's just completely withdrawn her stuff, everything from Facebook. Um, but there are people out there that worry about Google. They think that their privacy is not being taken care of, and blah 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 blah. So you've got all of these fears out there about losing your security and losing your privacy and losing all of this, and then you've got ease of use. I mean, I remember back in the early Google Plus days, a lot of people thought it was too complicated. My feeling was it wasn't complicated at all. It was really easy to do. You had collections, and you had your community, and you had your general thing, and I mean, there was all kinds of things you could do and follow and all of that. So, but again, um, those of us that were on Google Plus, we made it a point to learn how to use it. You know, so that may be the case here with Keen as well. I mean, I spent the better part of yesterday really diving in there and trying to figure out how does this thing work. So, but this whole keyword thing is what has made me wonder if it isn't worth the time to figure out how to use it. The other thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if anybody else here has noticed, is anybody else here an avid Pinterest user? No. Um, so,
Not anymore. I used to be,
okay.
but I find it's one more social media platform that that I have to manage. And so I kind of let that drop.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with Alana. One more social media platform that I'm,
Right.
I mean, I have a hard time keeping up with Facebook, let alone trying to keep up with
Yeah.
Pinterest,
Yeah.
Twitter, and all that other stuff. You spend all day doing that, and I
Yeah.
don't have all day to do that.
Right. Well,
Hmm.
here's what, because the reason I asked that, if those of us that are on WA, they're promoting that everybody go in and get a Pinterest business account and share and blah, 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 blah. And I mean, Jay talked about that ages ago in his Friday night thing. And so I went in and did that, created a business. I already had a personal. I created the business thing and set it all up and started doing things and started noticing that there was traffic coming from Pinterest on my website. But within the last, I would say, 3 weeks, Pinterest has eliminated the boards out of the business part. So when you go into your business section, it's just one great big hodgepodge. Which I at the time I wondered, why on earth are they doing that? What, I mean, this is crazy. But then as I'm in here playing around with Keen, it's exactly the same. So I don't know who's feeling like there's competition out there, but I have a feeling that there's something there. So anyway, there's my observations. Any other comments from the group?
Probably. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
I'll probably get involved with it because it's a Google product, and I'll probably do it just to the extent of when I publish a page or publish a website, I will announce that, through that, and then and use it to that point. Probably won't do the social part of it.
Well, the social part. Yeah, I haven't fully understood. I don't fully understand how the social part works yet. I guess I haven't been with it enough, but I do know that. Oh, I should share. What happened yesterday was, I sent I used the link, and posted the link into chat for David, and he clicked on that, and it showed him as a collaborator. So as Vivek and I were playing on Keen yesterday afternoon, I'm texting David to say, how did you become a collaborator? And of course he misunderstood the question, and we never did really honestly figure out how that happened. so I would ask all of you if you would, if I were to put into the link, if I were to share my link with you, would you go in and see what happens when what questions arise for you and what happens? If you would do that, then that would help us all learn more about this. But like I say, Alana, I think your idea is a really good one. If you go in there and do that and make note of all of those keywords, go take those and do some research in a keyword search tool. It would be that would be a valuable exercise to take.
Yeah, and a lot of this is probably coming from the fact that over the weekend we were watching the Netflix movie, The Social Dilemma, I want to say it's called. And so it's all about manipulating behavior on social media. So that kind of, this whole conversation had made me think of just that. this is Google's way of manipulating our behavior. So I don't know, call me conspiratory. What is the word? Conspiracist. Anyway.
Yes, I get your.
You know what I'm
meaning.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, I had a girlfriend send me the link and tell me about that, and I just can't remember the title of it. It's if you're in Netflix, if you do some research on documentaries, it shows up in there, and she was quite concerned about it as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, with I was thinking of, I mean, the word privacy has been brought out a couple of times, and people think that Google spies on them, but the reality is, what happens is, most of the people are on Facebook. They share everything that they do, and then Facebook sells the data to marketers. Facebook sells the data. So Facebook makes money out of your data. Okay. Now,
So you're the
who
product.
buys the data? The data is bought by marketers. And what do the marketers do? They put up advertisements. And which is the biggest advertisement delivery network on the planet? It's Google's. So you share something all your life on Facebook, but you see advertisements coming to you from Google. So you blame Google. You're actually blaming the messenger.
Well, I mean,
Actually, you are the one who is sharing all information about you on Facebook. Facebook makes money out of you,
Yeah.
and you blame Google.
I love that explanation, Vivek. I think
Well-
that's worthy worth all of us hearing.
the thing now is Google's trying to separate it, trying to take away the middleman. Facebook, they want to do it themselves.
Yeah,
'Cause they
why
found
not?
out- Why
Why
not?
not?
Well, if we're dumb enough to let them have it, then I guess it's you know.
Well, like my theory on posting anything about your life is this. I try to consciously be aware of everything I put out there online. And if it's something I don't want to share with the entire world, I don't post it. And when it comes to Facebook, I never share political posts or anything like that, because the minute you do, you're going to get bombarded with posts from that particular media outlet. So I don't share them. I'll read them, but I won't share them. I won't put them on my page. And my page consists mostly of recipe sites and notifications from friends, and that's it. I don't participate in any of that stuff. And that's how I've been able to cut down on that junk.
I've gotten to the point where if someone starts talking political, I delete them as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I did have to do that recently. I had to dump somebody recently. So yeah,
I mean,
I've
when
had
they
to
get
do that.
they get too radical, right or left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I really
Yeah.
don't want to hear it.
Yeah, me neither.
Because it's not good.
But you're actually going against democracy, aren't you? You have to be politically active. Politics
You
is
You don't
not
have
a
to be. Why do you have
politics
to
is
be
not
politically
a
active?
spectator game. Politics is not a spectator game. Politics is, you have to participate in it. If you don't, then who you don't want will take decisions for you. That's the
Okay,
problem.
so Vivek, I know we're steering
Anyway.
into dangerous territory here, but I
Yeah,
will simply
we are.
say this. There was a time when you could have a difference of opinion and be respectful of other people with a difference of opinion. And that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, thanks to the, how shall I put this politically correct? The new political environment we're living in today.
Yeah.
Really no way just everybody's so polarized that you just
Yeah.
can't live with it. And I want to swing back to the market. I want the pendulum in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want it all the way to the left. I don't want it all the way to the right. I want it in the middle, where everybody.
My mother-in-law used to say, the pendulum never stops.
Yeah.
It just keeps going this way and this way and this way. And yeah, there's a time when it passes through the middle that's really, really comfortable, but it goes all the way out to one side and then it goes back and goes all the way out to the other side. That was her.
That
Well,
is
I mean,
perfect.
it's like
Pendulum
jumping in the
never
water,
stops. Hey?
That is
Yeah,
right.
it's like jumping in the ocean, You don't want it to be too cold and you don't want it to be too hot. You want it to be just right. And everyone has their own definition of just right.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Okay, we have gone off topic.
Of course.
But going back to what you said, Alana, about being smart enough not to post anything that you don't want anybody to share or know anywhere. It doesn't matter where. And that's the principle that I've always followed as well. I don't post anything personal in any sort of social network. I just don't. I share things that are going on in my business. I share things that I find interesting, things of that nature, but I do not share anything personal.
Well, I've always told my family and myself that you never put anything online that you don't want everybody to see. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
That stuff stays around forever and ever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if they see me holding a fish up.
Right.
Although PETA might say something about that, but I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting my political views out there. I'm not putting my religious views out there. I'm not putting, my financial views or any of that kind of stuff. It's all, like local newspaper stuff, saying, hey, this person caught a fish or something along that lines.
Yeah.
People that post that stuff put themselves in major jeopardy nowadays. And
I have a friend who has been posting pictures of her children from the day they were born.
my daughter's done the same thing.
Yeah.
Posts pictures of her kids since they've been born, and but she doesn't get specific with it. She just, but
yeah,
that's a chance she's taking,
Well, what I'm noticing on Facebook lately, and it might have something to do with my age, but I see an awful lot of people talking about their parents that passed away on this day, whatever. I mean, there's an awful lot of memorial stuff being posted in Facebook right now. So
we had close to 200,000 people die in the United States, and so there's a lot of people that are mourning in here.
So it kind of makes me wonder, makes me understand the reason the youth have moved away from YouTube. So, okay, I think we have we're off on tangents, so I think we pretty well covered Keen. But if I send you all a Keen link in maybe Hangouts or text or whatever, I'll ask if you would go and see what click in and see what happens and make note of what happens, so we can learn a little something from this. Okay, so I think I'm about to stop streaming with a reminder. I'm going to cough, excuse me. Inconvenient time to get a tickle. With a reminder, it's important to do what you love with passion, and to let you know that next week we're going to explore how to create an online community. So sort of similar to this. I don't know who it was that suggested that I share that, but I have some resources that I could share on it. So having said that, hopefully we shall see everybody again next week. And I will do an Alt 4.